So get this, Samsung might have just cracked one of the biggest codes for electric vehicles. We're talking a battery that could change absolutely everything. But, and this is a big but, hidden inside this amazing breakthrough is a catch, a single detail that could kick off a global resource crisis. Okay, let's get into it. And this right here is the heart of it. But it comes with a consequence so big that the market seems to have, well, completely missed it. We're going to unpack exactly what that is. And this is the magic number, 9 minutes. Yep, that's the reported full charge time for Samsung's new solid-state battery. Just think about that. Pulling into a station and being fully charged and back on the road in less time than it takes to order a coffee. That feeling of range anxiety? Poof. Gone. This is the kind of thing that could finally make EVs mainstream for everyone. So how on earth did they do it? I mean, a 9-minute charge is pretty much the holy grail for battery engineers. And the secret? Well, it's not just some small tweak. It's a complete, fundamental change to the chemistry of the battery itself. And right here, this is where it all gets really, really interesting. Your standard EV battery uses an anode made of graphite. It works, it's cheap, and there's tons of it. But Samsung's new design, based on the specs we've seen, swaps that out for a silver carbon composite. And that one little change, from dirt cheap graphite to precious silver, that is the catch. It's a technical detail that, as our source suggests, has these massive economic shockwaves that almost no one is talking about. This isn't just an engineering decision, it's a decision that could turn entire global markets upside down. Okay, let's dive into the numbers from the source material, because this is where the sheer scale of this thing really just snaps into focus. We're going to break this math down step by step. So let's start small. Let's just think about one car, one single electric vehicle rolling off the assembly line with one of these new Samsung batteries inside. So here's the kicker, the key number from the source. Each one of these cars needs 1 full kilogram of silver. Not for the whole car, mind you, just for the anode. In the battery, 1 kilogram. Just let that sink in for a second. Now, a single kilogram might not sound like a world-ending amount, but a breakthrough this huge isn't meant for just one car, is it? The whole point is for this to be in every car. So what happens when this game-changing tech actually starts to scale up? Just look at these numbers. They're staggering. Even if this tech only captures a tiny 2% of the EV market each year, we're talking about 2,000 metric tons of new silver demand. At 20% adoption, that number just explodes to 20,000 metric tons every single year, just for this one part. Now, 20,000 tons is a massive number, but it's kind of meaningless without some context. So let's see how this potential new demand stacks up against, the total amount of silver the entire planet manages to dig out of the ground in a year.
And there you have it. The whole world mines roughly 26,000 tons of silver a year. Now, if this one battery tech hits just 20% market adoption, it would demand 20,000 of those tons. Think about that. We're talking about a single product trying to eat up almost 80% of all new silver. You don't need a PhD in economics to figure out what that does to silver prices. When demand like that slams into a fixed supply, prices don't just go up, they can go vertical. Let me put it another way, because this is just wild. Some projections show that this level of adoption could hoover up nearly the entire global supply from mines. Every other industry that relies on silver, electronics, solar panels, medicine, they'd all be left fighting for the scraps. So this brings up the most obvious question in the world, right? If silver is the big problem here, why not just use something else? Can't the engineers just find a cheaper, more common material to swap in? Well, according to the source material, the answer is a hard no. See, the silver isn't just an optional ingredient here. It is the secret sauce. The unique properties of that silver-carbon mix are exactly what allows the battery to charge in 9 minutes. So if you try to replace the silver, you very likely give up the one thing that makes this technology so revolutionary in the first place. So what happens now? What happens when a technology that is set to take over the world needs a resource that is fundamentally critically scarce? Well, according to our source, we are entering a brand new, very competitive era. And this is the ultimate conclusion drawn from all the data. Not that a war might begin or could begin, but that it has begun. Automakers, tech giants, even entire countries are going to have to fight tooth and nail to secure the silver they need to build the future of, everything. And this is not some far-off futuristic problem. The source is very clear. The factories to build these batteries are already under construction. The investments have been made. That massive demand isn't theoretical anymore. It's coming. This is becoming an industrial reality right now. So let's just quickly run through that chain of events one more time. It starts with a brilliant breakthrough. A battery that charges in 9 minutes. That breakthrough has a very specific requirement, a silver carbon anode. That requirement then creates an insane new level of demand for silver, which leads us straight into a potential crisis, as that demand slams right into the hard limits of what the world can supply. And so all of this leaves us with one final, absolutely crucial question. If this technology really is the future, then controlling that future might not come down to who has the best engineers or the smartest software. It might come down to something much more basic. Who controls the silver?